Camera rolling. Okay. Hello, hello, the listeners of Let the Bass Get You. We are honored to have here today the only man, the one man, Mr. Dash Berlin. Dash, how are you feeling? What's up?
I'm feeling great. I'm happy to be back here in Helsinki. I think we're looking forward to a great party. It's just about half an hour before my set. I'm really excited. There's a lot of new music coming out. We have a brand new single. There's so much to tell.
Okay, so we can expect a lot from your set. A lot of new music today, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of new music, but there's so much things going on right now, and it's amazing time for Dash Berlin. It's really it's busy. There's a lot of shows. There's a lot of new music, like I just said, coming out. There's a new album coming out on the end of March. So yeah, we've been busy, and if I'm keeping up well with reactions of the fans on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, people are really enjoying what we do, and yeah, that's a real nice compliment from the fans who always come to the shows, who always support our music, and yeah, that's yeah, so worth it.
Wow. Okay. Good answer. Okay. How many times have you been to Finland? What do you think about the Finnish crowds, in a sense that how does it differ from, let's say, crowds not from Finland?
From the back of my head, I could see my manager doing like something like this. So I would say it's 5. I'm not gonna say 25 now. No, I think more or less about one time a year I will come to Finland if the schedule permits. And what I think about the crowd is that there's not so much parties in Finland. Is that the people, they have to wait for the right artists to show for a good party, and I think that makes the anticipation for the people really, really high. And there's a lot of artists to choose from and a lot of great music, and I think when you do a great programming such as tonight, then you're giving everybody what they want. It's not only one style of music, it's a lot of different kind of artists and styles of electronic music on the stage tonight, and that's important. It's important to know the crowd that are coming to the shows, and I think this promoter is doing a great job already for a very, very long run here in Finland, and I'm honored to be part of the family of the show. Yeah.
Well, we're glad to accept you into the family here. Speaking of music, where do you get your inspiration from regarding music production? Is there something that gets your brain working and all the gears running in, regarding music production?
It kind of varies, but if you look at my sets right now, because I play, I would say, plus 90% is own material, is own productions, and that can mean dash-ups. That's the way I call my mashups, dash-ups, reworks, and reworks actually unofficial remixes. So you have the same amount of production time as of an official remix, but this is not official, but I can still use it in my set.
Right.
It's not really a bootleg because it's a completely brand new production. And then you have the official remixes and official material. So there's a lot of different of aspects how we work, because we not make only brand new material. We sometimes also use influences of material that already exists, and that can be on an official setting, like Are You With Me remix for Lost Frequencies was official. Alan Walker's Faded remix is official. And nowadays I always carry a lot of reworks with me that I want to trust to the crowd, like Maroon 5.
Okay.
But that's unofficial. But you have the same amount of production time that you use in those tracks as the official remixes. So let's take a rework, for instance, is that where you use those key ingredients to make a whole new track, is where for we have I'm gonna play a song tonight for sure, is the Ed Sheeran track.
Right.
Love and Shape of You.
Okay.
So this structure of this song is really down tempo, and that gives us a really good challenge in order to fuse that with the material that I normally play. And that's a big challenge, because we want to still keep that same Dash Berlin energy,
Right.
but also in a lower tempo pace of track.
Okay.
So it's becoming more of a puzzle to make that fitting for the people on the dance floor. So they still have the original vibe of Ed Sheeran, but they also have the original vibe of Dash Berlin, and that's how you fuse that together. And like I just said, for a rework, is that we start out with the basic ingredients of that track. When it comes to like completely brand new material of the album, like say We Are Part 2 is coming out on the end of March. It really varies. Sometimes we work on a melody. Sometimes we get a vocal from our record company that we have to work on, and we work around the vocal. And sometimes we have an idea which is more structured out of a beat arrangement, and we start building from that. It's not really one specific way of working like how we always do. What we do a lot though is try to add up as much as ingredients fitting to each other, which can build up to a climax, and which sounds fitting, and we can start building from that point on. That works for us very well. But
Okay.
it's not a one time, like we always do it like that.
Right. Okay, so you sort of like take the original vibe of the track and then you fuse the Dash Berlin sound into the track, and then you.
When it comes to remixes and reworks, yes, and for our own productions, we obviously know what kind of sound we use, and then we can start building from scratch, basically.
Right. Okay. In 2014, you guys teamed up with a trance lifestyle brand called Electric Family, and where 100% of the profits made were donated to charity. Amazing job, may I say. It was great from you. How important do you feel it is as a successful musician to sort of give back to the people?
That's a really good question, but I don't think that only goes for musicians. That goes for everybody in life. I think if you if you're having if you put everything in perspective, and you have bread on the shelf, and you have a a roof above you, you have running water, you're safe, you're warm, and you're able to help other people. Everybody should do that. And it's not only for musicians. And a lot of people don't know that when we started with Dash Berlin, almost 10 years ago now, is that we immediately started supporting an orphanage in Bali, in Posanten in Bali. And eventually, over time, it became more of a thing where artists, because of goodwill or because of image, started to work with charities. And over the years, we donated also to different charities in Mexico. We helped preventing deforestation in Mexico. We donated a stadium to a part of Izamal in Mexico also. And we see that as Dash Berlin, as a team, we see it as a normality to help people where we can. And in 2014, when we teamed up with Electric Family, there was an extra to point out that there was importance for the help of the children in the orphanage in Bali and Posanten, because they can use it. You have to see it like children are always the future, and that's also for electronic music. I mean, the young kids now producing, they're gonna be the heroes of tomorrow. And you want to give them an opportunity. You want to give them a chance. And the orphanage in Bali, that was for us a perfect setting of where we could support children from a very small age, from a very early beginning, with scholarship, with safety, in being in a good environment, and being around friends and in a secure environment. It was very important for us. All with all, it's a very long answer, but in general, what I want to say, I think when you want to do good, you do good, and it doesn't matter if you are a musician or not.
Right. Okay. Big respect to Dash Berlin and the guys for, being a part of that and making something huge happen. So, how much of your week gets spent on music? Like, I know you are a very, very busy man, and your team is also, but how often do you get to take holidays? Is there like any gaps in between touring and stuff like that you get to lay back and relax a little bit, maybe?
We have a random weekend here and there that's open, but that's not much. But I do have to say, with all the traveling over the years, it's welcome to have sometimes a small gap here and there to settle down and to go somewhere to kind of blow off steam. But working with the guys on music, with the whole team of Dash Berlin, it's a 24/7 business, because we are working in the dance music industry, and where the sun goes down in one part of Earth, it goes up on the other side.
Right.
And and we're in the lucky position that there's a lot of fans for Dash Berlin and a lot of support for Dash Berlin all over the world. So it doesn't matter if it's like day or night.
Right.
And that makes it quite busy sometimes, and it's sometimes struggling when it comes to family issues, to like really simple things, simple tasks. When you get home, there's no time for that. We really have to reserve time for that. And it's a lot of organizing, a lot of planning, and it's not always what it's cracked up to be. A lot of people think like, oh yeah, champagne, girls, flying, jet set, glitter, glamour. It's not. It's a tough life sometimes, but it's worth it, because when you go to Finland, and maybe one time a year, you see people smiling on the dance floor, they're holding hands, or it's like a couple, or people are going crazy, then that makes it all worth it.
Right. Okay, last but not least, electronic music is where it is right now. Where do you see electronic music being, or where do you see it going in the next 5 to 10 years?
The interesting question. I think what you can see with the electronic music landscape is that it's constantly changing. There's hypes going up, going down. There's music styles which are consistent. There's music styles which are inconsistent. But also, because of their inconsistency, they're fueling other styles of music. What I've seen with my experience over the years is that electronic music is very adaptable to also pop music, to classical music, to rock music even. And I think over the years, sometimes when people listen to electronic music, or people don't know that it's actually electronic music, because it's so well produced that you actually don't know, you
Right.
cannot hear,
Right.
because it still sounds organic, but it's actually electronic.
Yeah.
And secondly is maybe for an older a crowd that actually doesn't really listen to electronic music, but over the years that will become normality. And that has everything to do with internet, spreading of internet, the usage of electronic equipment, such as very easy to use software programs on laptops and PCs, that will be more widely available, that would be more widely used, so you have more producers. And that's going to fuel the whole electronic music scene. And I think it's just a matter of time before on the North Pole or the South Pole there will be a party with some really cool artists, and people will be invited. Look, we're going to build a stage over there, and we're going to have an electronic party there, because you can party everywhere in the world. It's
Will you be playing there?
I would love to. I would go in a bear suit or something that keeps me warm, because I don't want to freeze to death. But I think there's interest for electronic music everywhere, and the very positive thing is that even in very traditional countries, you can see it's still growing. For people who do not have access for it, they want it more and more. So I think there was a small bubble, a small uprising in the general electronic musical landscape, which is called EDM. And that did a lot of good, and that's died out a little bit. Now it's becoming a little bit more serious, a little bit more repetitive. Techno and tech house is coming back a little bit more. Programming is key for all the festivals in the world. It's becoming more and more important. And that's gonna fuel the future with all the new artists and with the established artists. And I think it's gonna be an amazing time, because electronic music offers so much different elements for everybody to enjoy, and that's amazing.
Wow, thank you for this interview, Mr. Berlin, and I hope you enjoy your show.
Me too, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you for the interview.
Great, thanks.